Catchers.
Sleepings. No te agachas. No te amarras. La libertad.
El triunfo.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I'm from National Chilean Television. Carlos, I wanted to know from your perspective what happened. The Chilean team is claiming that it wasn't fair, that Garim was not able to go on playing after what the Belgian team called an accident in the court. Do you consider that an accident?
Yes, completely. I consider it was a very unfortunate accident between caused unfortunately by a player without any intention. I don't think there is nothing that happened during the match would make anybody think that it was not an accident. It was a match played in great spirit. It was a great tennis match, a great Davis Cup match between two great players. The tennis was fantastic. It was a really, really good match, and it was a shame that it ended like that. But nothing that happened during the match would lead to anything other than an accident, which is exactly what happened. Yes, it was a very unfortunate accident that happened at the net when the players were going to cross each other at the net for the 6-5 changeover in the final set.
Just to continue the question, because
Yeah.
the Belgian captain called this an accident that happens in the court. I understand that an accident that happens in the court is when you broke your leg, you're all alone, not when somebody hit you. That is not an accident, in my opinion. That happens in the court. I never see that in the ITF tournaments or in the ATP tour.
I think are you talking about the definition of accident or?
Accident that happens in the court.
No, it's not an accident that happens very often on the court. Fortunately, it's the first time I see it happen. Unfortunately, it happened. Fortunately, it's the first time that I see it happen. And I have been in tennis officiating for more than 35 years now. So maybe it happened before, but I don't think it happened since, fortunately, because it was, again, very unfortunate. And unfortunate for both players and for the crowd, for tennis. Again, it was a great tennis match, a great Davis Cup match. The stadium was packed. It was played in great spirit, fair play on and off the court. It was very unfortunate that it ended like that. But it was an accident because there was no intention of harming anybody. Had there been any intention of harming the opponent, then the decision would have been completely different. Okay,
But the player said after that he couldn't play.
Okay,
so
then
why
it's
he considered he was forced to play, but he didn't.
okay. Then it's a different. Now we're on.
Yeah.
So
It's a
we're
different question.
on to a different question
Yeah.
now. Okay, so
Do you consider that the player Cristian Garim was able to play? To go
okay,
on?
so the first thing I need to consider in all of this is whether it was an accident or not. So, in my opinion, it was an accident.
Was there like a medical check?
Let me answer first this one. So it was an accident, as far as I'm concerned, as the referee of the match. When there is an accident, the next step is to assist the player, which is what we did. So immediately I asked the Chilean medical team to come and help and assist Christian. So that was the next thing to do. Once we did that, then we needed to decide, a decision needed to be made whether Christian was hurt or not, whether he was going to be able to continue play, whether he was hurt and unfit to play. And the decision, and this is a medical decision which I cannot make. It's not that I don't want to make the decision, it's that the rules are very clear that the officials are not to make medical decisions. So once it became a medical decision, then the independent doctor came on court and made that decision. And in the opinion of the independent doctor, Cristian Garin was fit to continue to play the match. And that's why after I spoke to Cristian and to Nicolas Massou, I communicated my decision that the match would continue. I tried to give them as much time as possible for them to recover from the situation and continue the match. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, they decided that Cristian decided that he would not resume play. Have some water, please, anybody?
What's the nationality of the independent doctor?
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
So in Davis Cup and Billie Jean King Cup, we most times the teams have their own physio and their own doctor, and we also have one doctor that we call the independent doctor. That independent doctor, in most cases, 90% of the cases, if not more, is from the receiving nation, the home nation. So when we play Davis Cup or Billie Jean King Cup in Chile, the independent doctor is Chilean, in the same way that the independent doctor this time, or is most likely Chilean, in the same way that the independent doctor this time was Belgian and was always going to most likely be Belgian. So that doctor is there with the referee and working for the ITF as an independent doctor to make this type of decisions. Most of the decisions they make at this competition is to do with whether the player is cramping or not. So most of those decisions are to decide if the player is cramping or not. But of course, any medical decision that the referee believes needs to be made by the independent doctor is made by this doctor. So to answer your question now in one phrase, the independent doctor is Belgian, and that is completely within or consistent with our regulations of Davis Cup and Billie Jean King Cup. You had a question before? Sorry.
It was about the medical check. Did it
Yes.
happen? And so you answered it already, I think.
Yes, at one point I called the independent doctor to come on court, and he assessed the injury, the injury, and made the decision that Cristian Garin was, in his opinion, fit to continue to play.
So if that's the case, then it's maybe dangerous to play on. No, it was discussed.
I don't know what to say because as I said before, we the officials, we don't make any medical decisions. I'm very happy to talk about officiating decisions, but whenever it becomes medical, then it's the medical staff that makes the decisions, and that is in all types of tennis events. The medical decisions are made by the physio and or the doctor of the event.
Because we heard the Chilean complaint. I understand you cannot make a medical decision, but you have to decide taking care about this medical I don't know what, because what Masoud said is that the doctor just saw Karim few seconds. He talked a few seconds with you, 12 seconds. He said, Masoud, and he's asking why the doctor didn't make any kind of exams to make his inform and determine that Karim is able to play.
Well, those are medical questions. It's not that I don't want to answer. Is that again, they're medical questions, and it's not. I'm not competent, neither authorized to answer that, because I don't know. You know, I'm not a doctor. Even if I was a doctor, I would not be able to, because my role here is as referee.
Yeah.
I would not be able to make
But your
any
decision was taken because of that word of the doctor, the medical.
Well, as I said before, this was an accident. From my perspective, this was an accident. Since it was an accident, then we needed to assess the result of the accident. The result of the accident is a decision that is made by the independent doctor. And this is exactly what happened on the court. So the procedure, there is a procedure in place. The procedure was followed. The right person made the decision when it became a medical decision. I made the decision of whether it was an accident or not. The doctor made the decision of whether the player was hurt and fit to resume play. And his decision was that he was not hurt and he was fit to resume play.
Did you watch the images to see what?
Catchers. Sleepings. No te agachas. No te amarras. La libertad.
El triunfo.